Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Helping the helpers is what I'm hoping to do, inshallah. This series is more of a self-assessment, a review. We're going to go through, a little over 40 ahadith and verses from the Quran, just to show a bigger picture. When it comes to the specific activities and training and development, that stuff obviously takes a lot more time and is more detailed. But let's start with the first one. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Deeds are by intentions. You make an intention to do something. That intention doesn't stop until you choose to stop it. Some of you have probably decided many, many years ago that the reason you're getting into university or the reason why you're doing what you do is for the sake of Allah. You never change that intention. Guaranteed, thoughts creep in, things, tend to take you off that path, but there's always the opportunity to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and clarify the intention. So before we move on to the next hadith, stop for a second and just ask yourself, what is my intention? And what might happen is you'll have an alternative voice in your mind trying to doubt that your intention is for the sake of Allah. Fight it. Between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is nothing. And so if your intention is for Allah, then that's inshallah what you'll be rewarded for. Hadith number 2. This is more personal to me on why I'm doing any of this. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep me sincere in this. But when a human dies, man or woman, all their deeds come to an end except for 3 things. Sadaqah jariyah, that's the that ongoing charity. You donate something and it keeps going and going and going. And often people will use examples like a well, but there's so many other categories. But the idea here is people keep benefiting. The second one, ilmun yuntafa'u bih, knowledge that benefits. When you're able to share something with somebody and they benefit from it, that benefit that they're getting, and then they pass it on to others, that will keep counting for you even after you're dead. And the third one, waladun salih yad'u lah, righteous children that make dua for you. Now, when we take this hadith and we kind of extract from it or build on it, there's 3 life goals that I have, and they're under 3 main organizations. The Sadaqah Jariyah side of things, because that has a lot to do with money and finances and jobs and all that kind of stuff, that's my organization that I call Q&A, Qasqas and Associates Psychological Services. Yes, it's a clinic, it's got multiple locations, and at the end of the day, I do hope to hire psychologists who are serving the community so that by me helping you, you can help so many other people. And at the end of the day, I definitely recognize that it's essential for you to, not just engage in this voluntarily, but to see that there's a career pathway in helping others. So even if you're volunteering with this network, there should be at the very least an idea of what your serious leisure can do for you in terms of a career pathway. So that's the Sadaqah Jariyah side. The ilmun yuntafa'u bih, the knowledge that benefits, is a one-way contribution. It's these videos, it's the website, it's all the things that we're just sharing. And in all honesty, I spent a lot of time with a lot of people, a lot of organizations, a lot of individuals, trying to structure it and trying to have clear objectives and goals. But at the end of the day, there's only one purpose behind this: sharing knowledge that benefits. Whether that benefit comes back to the organization and network or not is irrelevant to me. It's not a KPI. It's not a key performance indicator. It's not something I'm tracking. All I want to do is share knowledge that benefits. However, in order to share knowledge that benefits, I need a team of teams. That's where the third life goal comes in, and that's the Future Leaders, Scholars, and Counselors initiative. That's where it's a two-way street. Waladun salih yad'u lah. You raise righteous children so they can make dua for you. Okay, so there's a mutual benefit there. There's reciprocity. This is why when I do supervise future psychologists and mental health professionals, I demand that they coach and mentor other people. And I have this cascading mentorship model where I will provide supervision to people who are going to become psychologists, and each one of them will provide coaching and professional consultation to people that are 3 to 6 months in behind them. What this helps me do is not have to repeat the same thing over and over again, but also when you want help from somebody, it's so much better to ask somebody who had just recently experienced the same issue that you're dealing with. If somebody wants to get into the field of psychology and they're an undergrad in university, if you ask me, well, I mean, I've been done from that world a long time ago. But through the network, you can definitely find somebody that has just finished the course that you finished, or somebody that's just applying with the same application process that you're applying to. And that's why these 3 life goals make perfect sense to me, but they're interconnected as well. So in order to give knowledge that benefits, well, there has to be a financial source that pays for it all. And that's why my goal from all this is to never turn this into an initiative that requires donations or anything ever. This will always be self-sufficient, inshallah. However, when it comes to future leaders and scholars and counselors, the supervision and the training, of course, that's something that requires a lot of effort and work. And that's why those of you that join the network for future leaders and scholars and counselors, I do demand that you dedicate time and energy for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help other people. So this is you helping me to help them, to help themselves, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair. And we'll move on to the next ahadith in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.